No, you got a meeting on Monday.
Yeah, with the prosecutor. Evidently, it's the third one. We've gone.
Third one?
The third prosecutor, district attorney, whatever you want to call him, assistant district attorney. The first one was actually Martinez. The second one was the chief. They told me his name. Anyway.
The police chief?
No, the head DA, Mr. Martinez. I think his name is Martinez.
Not Esparza?
Not Jaime, no. No. So now I have David Nunez. Nunez? Yeah, he called. And over a year ago, when this was, the officers first submitted this to the prosecutor, I gave him some little bits of information. Some little bits
It's
of...
still going on a year?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah. She was actually indicted in October. Since she's been indicted, it was actually October. All right.
Damn, that's fantastic.
These incident reports go all the way back to November of 18.
Okay, so tell me, you're on the third prosecutor.
Yeah, so we got there, and I really felt that they were going to dismiss the case. How do I know that? Her emboldenedness, empoweredness, the things she says. There's like really some chilling things that she said just yesterday, actually.
Who?
My ex-wife,
Okay.
which confirms that the courthouse is a chain of corruption. Everyone knows each other. Evidently, here's the big buzz. You ready for the big buzz?
All the time.
Several months ago, when I was on my Facebook anti-parent alienation campaign, I would get thousands, and I've actually got over 5,000 friends on my Facebook. Yeah, but I only know like maybe 100, right? So, but yeah, I know you. Well, anyway, I asked, even Laura Stratham, but Karen Pelletier also came up as a suggestion one day, and I said, just one of the people I'd love to be friends on Facebook. Karen Pelletier was my divorce judge. Right?
Okay.
So I asked her to be friends on Facebook. We helped stop parent alienation. I also asked Laura Stratham. And my ex-wife yesterday calls up and starts talking about, why did you friend Karen Pelletier? Like, how do you know I friended Karen Pelletier? Evidently there's lawyers researching me. Yeah.
Wait a minute. There's a big disconnect there. So how did you discover that there's lawyers researching you?
That's what she said.
Who?
My ex-wife.
She said that the lawyers are researching you.
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah, they do that.
Yeah.
They look at your social media.
But they're trying to make a big deal of the fact that I asked my divorce judge to be friends on Facebook.
That's not weird.
And then, because you asked her to be friends, and then you send her a mandamus or a habeas corpus, whatever it is that we sent her.
It was in 1983.
In 1983. And they're like,
well, no, yeah, it was a habeas. It was a habeas corpus.
in
But there was
1983.
1983 in it.
So. Yeah, that's what
Doesn't
yada
matter.
yada yada. But going back to
I spank my kids, but they're my kids. I love them. So what the fuck?
my concern over the conversation, and I'm waiting for this David Nunez to call me, because it's very chilling to me, knowing that a person that you've had indicted was going to court for a crime that you had indicted, calling you up and saying, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? People are watching you.
Wait, so she's calling you?
And she called me up.
Well, you don't really know what she's saying is true anyway.
Well, I did friend Karen Pelletier several months ago.
So it doesn't matter. She could have just made it up.
It is, exactly, But
it's really just trivial.
It is. It is.
He's messing with you.
Yeah, that's the point.
You like being messed with.
Oh, I love. Well,
I'm gonna edit that out, by the way.
You're gonna edit that one out?
Oh yeah. Maybe.
But it just, pure intimidation. Pure intimidation. While a person is indicted.
Well, she's just harassing you, man.
Correct. There's no doubt about that. I mean, that's a word you can use. You can use harassment.
Yeah,
but that's not why we're here.
harassing.
You know.
Well, is she interfering?
Is she?
Still? She's still
Well,
interfering?
now, the DRO lady called me last week.
Yes or no? She's
not
not
interfering.
Is she keeping you from seeing the kid?
She keeping me. No, she's making it as difficult as possible.
What do you mean by that?
Making them be late and all that stuff.
Late?
Like, hey, on days that I go. Now, once again, she's been indicted.
Yeah, late. Come on, late. Stay on the same horse.
Okay. So, like, I call and say, hey, it's 5 o'clock, I'm on my way. I'll be there in 30 minutes. You call and you're like, 5 minutes time, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes. You call, honest to God. And then I'm in the parking lot, well, we're not ready yet. And, wait about a half hour or so, things like that.
So do you tack on the time when you bring them back?
There is none of that. Evidently, she believes that you only get 2 hours a week on Thursday, use it or lose it, between hours of 18.
I know, but do you bring them back late?
No.
Bring them back late.
You can do exactly. You can do that.
If she's eating into your time, it ain't from 6 to 8. If it's gonna be from 6:30 to 8, and 6:30 to 8:30.
So, having the meeting with the prosecutor, and I really feel that they want nothing to do with this.
Why do you say that?
They're twisting things around. They're making it as if they're, what she did really wasn't that bad. I mean, even though it was your weekend, she called and asked you. You said no. Why? I mean, like, is there a reason why you said no? What's the reason? I mean, 12 people are going to think that you're a bad person.
Yeah, wait, what now? So she asked you what?
To switch the weekends about a week before the Easter. And I said no. I said, send me a text. I didn't get no text.
Okay, so then what happened?
She took them.
Oh.
That's the focus of, the indictment that weekend, which was Easter a year ago.
But you told her you didn't want to switch.
I told, yeah.
But she did it anyway.
Right, because even prior to then, even going through, I had accumulated, 18 incident reports? And those are just the incident reports. We're not talking about when I didn't know. We're not talking about what I didn't know what to do. This, for me, has actually been going on for a couple of years. You know what I mean? It wasn't until I started getting on media, social medias. You get zero information from your lawyers. The lawyers here don't tell you what to do. No. Oh, no. You can go in there, you give him $50, and he'll listen to you. Yeah. And then that's it. You just spent $50. No, really, you did. So, but that's, and there was a discrepancy in the indictment. We had the wrong date on it. It wasn't May 31st, which was when Easter fell that year. Last year, Easter was different. You would know that because you're, it wasn't the second weekend of April. It was the first. Easter was April 2nd last year.
Okay.
Not April 14th or April 16th. That's what people get. But they had the wrong date on the indictment. So he said they're going to talk about fixing that.
Yeah, they got to fix that. It's trivial, again.
And he wants to talk to my sister about some things. Basically, let me put it to you this way. If it was a job interview, I wouldn't have gotten the job. I feel...
How is he going to talk to your sister? What does your sister have to do? She went to go with you?
She's been through the whole thing with me. And there's some back and forth issues that throughout this whole ordeal, I've been making a calendar throughout the whole thing. This is the texting going back and forth and blah, blah, blah. And there were some things with her, my sister, that she brought to the attention, and so they're questioning it.
Okay.
So he wants to ask her a couple questions,
So, okay.
My mom, my girlfriend too. How difficult it's really been for me to have a relationship with the kid.
Do you think the police they're giving you not the police, but the attorney...
District attorney.
District attorney's
office.
Is just kind of like, well, it's not a murder.
I think that personally,
it's not a hit and run.
Personally, I think that Jaime
it's like a DUI. We're just not going to care about it.
Correct. No, really. I mean, it depends on how, but I really believe and feel that Jaime Esparza was on vacation, and somebody let this slip through, and now they're stuck with it. And now they're just going to. You don't get your due process; you get your process due unto you. I got
you don't have due process as a victim.
As a victim, no. But they do have expectations that as a public servant that they have to provide you updates and statuses, what's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? I'm leaving them messages and they're not returning them.
I mean, the public feels that these people aren't doing their job.
It's a problem.
You know, what are they there for?
It's a problem. You know? And so now
so you've had 3 different prosecutors talk to you. In how long? A year? There's still no case.
She's had some court dates and things like that. You know, there's some stuff that's been on the docket. Yep. You know.
So
every time there's a court date, I went there.
It's not like there's any evidence that needs to be retrieved from like Langley records, CIO case. So there's nothing like that. It just she didn't give you a kid on Easter Sunday and numerous other occasions. And you pretty much got incident reports. You went there to prove you were there, and they're having a hard time figuring out what to do with this, huh?
Not only that, the indictment is only for one incident report. Evidently, they can only, the way the law is, you know, evidently you can only do one thing at a time. You know what I mean? In my particular case, which is not common, me neither. You know.
So wait a minute. Okay. So, and when you talk to these district attorneys, they're just kind of like, whatever.
You really don't get right. You really don't get like.
There's no need. There's no.
I'm not a lawyer.
Do you detect the intent
to deceive?
No. Do you detect their intent to want to help you at all?
No.
No, huh?
No.
They're just kind of like, I wish this guy wasn't here.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct.
Okay.
You know.
How long do the meetings last?
I got 1 hour.
An hour?
An hour.
That's a long time. No, they're spending an hour with you.
Well, you know, time is money. Money is time. You know.
But you're not paying them. They
I'm
could
not
get
paying
paid doing something else. So why are they spending a whole hour?
You know, he had the conference room booked for a couple hours. I was the first one.
Yeah, but you guys are in there for an hour. Talking for an hour.
Actually, maybe a little less because I was there. It was at 1 o'clock. I was
let's
there.
Say 45 minutes.
Yeah,
you guys
45
are talking
minutes.
for 45. What do you? They're giving you 45 minutes though.
Mhm.
So I mean, in that amount of time.
Did we square anything away?
Yeah.
We talked about.
That's a lot of time.
We talked about the drugs, what a fallacy the drugs are, the suicide. You know, going back and forth.
Do you have any proof of any of that stuff?
She doesn't have any proof of it.
Yes. What are they, allegations against you or something?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
So she's making allegations.
Correct.
In order to swing it her way.
Correct.
But you're not the one on trial here. She is.
Correct.
And she only did it because she wanted the Easter weekend, and she just decided she was gonna take it. Now,
because she can.
That's contempt in my eyes. That's contempt. I mean, that's straight up mens rea. She's
even
guilty.
On that day, which he has that that information.
Wait a minute. What did you just say right now?
That day, that Friday was Good Friday. She sent him a text.
No. When I said that she kept her kids because she can.
She can.
Yeah.
They do nothing.
But she can't.
No,
she's not supposed to.
Correct.
She was supposed to give you your
Correct.
kids, but instead she kept them.
Yeah.
Because she was like,
"What are you gonna do?"
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, dude. I don't get how that is so hard.
No.
It's like,
I use the stop sign analogy.
You got the text messages and shit like
do
that.
not. If your father calls, do not answer. Like, do not.
Doesn't make sense.
No.
Okay. So they just don't want to do it. They just don't want to come down on moms here because they're afraid.
She's a teacher.
You
She's
know.
a public servant.
She should be following the rules.
I
Like she
found
makes her students.
they believe they are. They
Guarantee
believe
she has
they
rules
believe
in
they
her
are.
class. She doesn't want to do it.
No, she believes she is.
Yeah.
She believes that.
And the DA, they're just like, whatever, man.
No, and once again,
Do they ask you why you're doing it? Do they ever ask you, like, why are you doing this? Why not just let it go?
no,
No?
no, they haven't asked me
But they're
that.
just like, all right.
They haven't asked me, no, none of that.
Just kind of like, okay, we'll do this, we'll do that. Like, because I want to know more about what they're telling you, man.
Really telling me nothing. They're not
But
telling
you're
me.
in there for 40, so you have to
We
explain the
talked
45
about.
minutes.
We talked about.
Is it just you talking for 40?
Pretty much, and he was
Okay.
he was pretty much getting annoyed. Taking notes. Oh, I was answering his questions, but not the way that he wanted them. If that helps, you
Okay,
know.
what does that mean?
he would say, well, okay, so now you're familiar with the Thursdays and the Fridays. She's submitting that on Thursdays. On this calendar, I would say, did not see Sam, had to work. Okay, I couldn't see him at 6 o'clock on that Thursday, had to work. Well, why didn't you see him? I had to work. So you don't want to see your son. Okay. She's saying that he doesn't want to see him.
Who was saying this?
The prosecutor's inclining it because that's what she is saying.
Oh.
He's agreeing with that. And here's what's going to make you laugh.
so they're
We're looking
saying-
at the calendar going from as far back
That's
as
a big
2018.
calendar, by the way.
There's a 2017, 2018.
Okay, I got you. Keep going. Keep
And
going.
the next day would be a Friday, which would be a scheduled visitation. I would go there with the police and she would say no. She's saying, well, he doesn't show up on Thursdays because he has to work.
Yeah.
And then
But then if you don't work, you don't pay child support, then they're like, well, get a job.
get it right. You know, I'm being told that she said, the judge said, use it or lose it. The people from the DRO, we had a case open in the DRO, which they closed last week because she proved consistency. When you ask, are you seeing your son? Well, you know what? I did get 3 Thursdays. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But
Doesn't matter. It's not like, hey, were you a good person after you shot that other person a few months ago? Well, yeah. I donated. I went to church. I brushed my teeth.
when you ask black and
I
white,
washed my hands. Yeah, so I was a good person afterwards.
correct.
Okay, all right. So they're just kind of like, they don't want to help you. They're kind of already siding with her. They're just looking for
because-
excuses to drop you, really. That's what it
Right. You know,
Okay.
since October when she was indicted, it took 5 months for me to see my son. Now, keep in mind, this is what, March? January, February, March,
Damn, 5
April?
months, man. That's a lot of. Damn.
I've only been seeing my son for about 2.5 months.
5 months, 5.5 months of not seeing him
Since she was indicted.
since she was indicted.
And I accumulated like, almost, several to a dozen incident reports.
Should have like what, 20?
Whatever it works out to be, you know?
At least 15.
Whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Damn,
And
man.
I mentioned once again, I keep mentioning that to these prosecutors, and it's just like, well, you get into, well, how many times can you rob a bank? 3?
Wow. So they don't see that she's doing this habitually. They're just like, well,
She's a teacher.
we don't
you
really
know?
like
Come
you.
on,
So
yeah.
Who's a teenager? The
Teacher.
daughter.
She's a
The
teacher.
Yeah. Okay.
And evidently they opened up, I think she teaches that there's an all
Don't say.
girl-
Don't say.
Oh.
I don't know. Just don't say. I'll have to edit it out anyway.
You know? So.
But okay. Dang, man.
So I'm waiting to hear from him.
So what they say this? Oh no, you gotta go in on Monday,
We left it at,
or you went on Monday.
I went on Monday.
Oh, okay. So what they say was nice.
So we really didn't, we weren't seeing eye to eye in a couple things. As far as the drugs and the suicide, I think they're like with me. They're with us on that.
I don't know what that means.
She's accusing me of wanting to commit suicide. And
Okay.
she's accused me of drugs, and I've provided.
She's accusing you of wanting to do something.
She says she has this here.
Damn,
she
man.
says that she wrote this thing where on this day I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing. April, blah blah blah. She saw me at a GCEU ATM and take money out. Okay, and then she says,
You tried to choke yourself with Benjamins?
and the next day she says, because my son used to go to football.
Try to slit your wrist with
She
a dollar
said-
bill or something?
someone who wants to remain anonymous came up to her and said that I'm buying cocaine from her husband.
Yeah, well, if she's trying to use that, that's hearsay. Like, that's nothing. Oh,
That's
I'm
number
sorry.
two. That's number
I went
two.
to the grocery store, and there was a voice on the other side of the aisle that said, "Hey, Dennis is selling cocaine." But you're hearing voices and shit, and they're taking it serious, huh? Like someone that there's no anonymity.
And it's obvious that these people are not taking false allegations seriously.
Well, they don't
That's
even
a core
take
thing.
DUIs seriously.
That's a core thing. That's a core thing. And
Kill some kids
I
and
got
they
I
don't
got
even
on
care,
him for
man.
that. I said, no, wait a minute. I'm a human being. My mother and she sent texts and things like that to my mother and my sister, telling them that I want to kill myself. Okay.
Right. I mean, this is all stuff that
Gets
this
out
is-
of control.
This is just her saying stuff. There's no proof. It's obvious you don't want to kill yourself, or she wouldn't be fighting so hard. People want to kill themselves don't fight, for anything.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't
mean-
even know, man. So they're just listening to her, be like, oh, she says it must be true. That way we can just kind of like
It must be true.
not give this guy any respect, huh? You should go in there and like Rodney did. Hey, I get no respect. Hey. I go ask the cops for help and they shoot me. Is it here? This'll fix it.
This will fix it.
My goodness.